Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2015. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, Shelbyville officials say they will seek federal disaster relief to help repair a collapsing underground drainage system that has closed a major downtown traffic artery. Tennessee's unemployment rate showed no change for the month of July. A Franklin County man will face murder charges in connection with the shooting death of his estranged wife in Bedford County earlier this year. We'll talk with the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration Executive Director. We'll hear comments from Tullahoma's two newly elected aldermen, and we'll tell you about some new methods of farming in Tennessee. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
It's new car discount season at Stan McNabb Chevy, and we have prices that'll beat anybody else. New vehicles up to $17,000 off. Check out this brand new 2014 Chevy Impala, the flagship sedan, only $20,900. Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac. Stan McNabb has all the new car brands you love in one location. And don't forget, we'll match or beat any dealer's price or give you a check for $500. And check us out online or schedule your service at stanmcnabb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm John Harris.
My name is Cass Barnes.
We just wanted to make you all aware of the first annual Tullahoma Alumni Coffee Pot game. It's going to be at Coffee County Middle School on their varsity football field. It's going to be September 19th, 2015.
I'm playing quarterback and I'm one of the team captains.
Also a team captain, I'm playing left guard and defensive tackle. This is very important that we get community support and involvement with this program. It's going to be one of the biggest revenue generators for the Tullahoma Quarterback Club, and we're estimating anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 of additional revenue that we could start bringing in to the Tullahoma Quarterback Club on a residual basis for each of these games that we do. So we look forward to your support and hope to see you there.
To come out and support your Tullahoma Wildcats.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
Welcome back. A large section of the Shelbyville flume system collapsed Sunday morning. It was the third collapse of the system this year. Newsleader's Marilyn Ewing spoke with Shelbyville City Manager Jay Johnson and several others about the mishap.
You're looking at major damage in the heart of Shelbyville, Tennessee, as another section of the flume system collapses during significant rainfall around 9 o'clock Sunday morning. Shelbyville's flume system empties into Duck River, and I caught up with Shelbyville City Manager Jay Johnson and others on this devastating situation.
We have had a third section of the flume collapse. It occurred about 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. The distance is about 420 feet, but what is so significant about this collapse, it took a fairly large section of Lane Parkway with it, has collapsed as well. There is no structural damage to the police or fire station, but there's considerable damage to the parking lot and the highway.
Yeah, I've been at the tube today. We're fixing to take and start probably the excavation downstream to try to do some fixing to try to stabilize it and stop it from going any further.
They should have, when the shutter's down, fixed this thing right. When it started on it, they wouldn't have all this problem with it. They wouldn't fix right. That's why it fell in. Because they get it out of it down in the side of that old ditch over there.
Again, another major section, about 400 to 500 feet, looks like it's collapsed, and that was not part of it in the background. That was a truck going by. Anyway, the pipe, which is approximately 12 to 14 feet in diameter, traverses all the way from the previous break, which was across the street from Lane Parkway, comes down, and you can see the parking lot here where it's collapsed in, comes down under the railroad track, and along that yellow, if you can kind of see that caution police line tape, that yellow line, it follows that line in a straight line over here behind the Chamber of Commerce. So what we're worried about it is more of that collapsing over the next few weeks while we try to fix this part. So the plan is right now to apply for federal disaster aid to try to get the biggest chunk of the money to help fix it, get the engineering done and whatever we can get done, as quickly to stabilize the pipe, and we think that's going to be an additional $2 million right now. Well, fixing the pipe is going to be even more than that. So that's the update out as we speak on Monday morning, and I don't know what else I can really tell you because we have a lot of unknowns and we've got a lot of engineers and people working on it to give us the expert advice.
The Shelbyville City Council has called an emergency meeting on Monday afternoon with the agenda items to include a status report, state of emergency, professional services to assist with the project, as well as financing the project. We'll keep you updated. I'm Marilyn Ewing, Newsleader on 6.
Tennessee Labor and Workforce Development Commissioner Burns Phillips has announced the Tennessee preliminary unemployment rate for July was 5.7%, unchanged from the June revised rate. The U.S. preliminary rate for July was 5.3%, also unchanged from the prior month. Tennessee's unemployment rate has decreased this fiscal year from 6.6% to 5.7%, while the national rate declined from 6.2% to 5.3%. Total non-farm employment increased by 1,300 jobs from the June to July. The largest increases occurred in leisure, hospitality, manufacturing, and wholesale trade. Over the year, non-farm employment has increased 52,500 jobs.
The Shelbyville Times-Gazette says a Franklin County man charged with first-degree murder in connection with the shooting death of his estranged wife faces a hearing in a Shelbyville courtroom on October the 2nd. Investigators say James Hall is responsible for the March shooting of his wife, Crystal Hall. Hall was apparently upset because of an on and off 2-year extramarital affair by his wife. He allegedly shot through the door of a Bedford County home where she was staying and then fatally shot her in the face with a 9mm pistol. A 12-year-old girl hiding in a bedroom called 911 for help during the attack. Hall allegedly confessed to what is described as a crime of passion.
We'll be back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The wait is finally over. The 2015 50th anniversary Ford Mustang is finally here. This is one awesome vehicle. Let me give you a few stats on this V8 Mustang. 435 horsepower, independent rear suspension, 25 miles per gallon, and this is the one you've been waiting for. 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Don't blink an eye or you'll miss it. Come by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester and check it out. The 2015 Mustang, the all-new redesign, will leave you speechless.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Tullahoma's newly elected aldermen were sworn in prior to last week's Board of Mayor and Aldermen meeting. City Attorney Steve Worsham read the official proclamation from the Coffee County Election Commission.
Our City Attorney's report. Mr. Worsham, please, sir.
Firstly, I will read the certification for election results from the Coffee County Election Commission. We, the undersigned members of the Coffee County Election Commission, do hereby certify that we held the Tullahoma City election on Thursday, August 6, 2015, in all the voting precincts in said city, according to law, for the purpose of electing the offices of 2 aldermen, and that we have canvassed the returns of said election as required by law, and we do hereby certify that the following 10 pages of tabulation are a true, correct, and complete accounting of the results of said elections as established by the canvassing of the returns this 13th day of August 2015. Signed by Sandra Sosby, the chairman of the Election Commission, and Barbara Arp, secretary. I will not read all 10 pages to you, but I will read the summary page wherein the Election Commission reported that Jimmy Blanks with 956 votes was elected, and Ray Noas with 1,031 votes was elected. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Secondly, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Duncan. You have, in my mind, become the poet laureate of Tullahoma. That was a beautiful poem, and I would like to get a copy of that. I'd like to repeat that sometime. Thirdly, I'd like to report that Mr. Limbaugh and I are about to wind up all of the property acquisition work on East Lincoln Street for the sidewalk. So hopefully, shortly, construction of those can be underway. That's all I have to report tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Worsham.
Each of the two aldermen were permitted to make comments. Let's watch.
Mr. Noas, you know, you've moved from the front seat where you've occupied for the past year at city council meetings. We appreciate that. And you've now taken a position here. So welcome. And let me recognize you for any comments that you would like to make.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank the voters for selecting me for this honor, and to tell you how humble I am actually to be in this position to serve with this team. I look forward to a great tenure as your alderman, and congratulate also Dr. Blanks for the great race that he ran. We were very neck and neck in our vote count, and we both worked hard, and I appreciate the effort that you made, Dr. Blanks, as well. So for the voters, though, thank you. I'm honored to be your servant.
This might be a good opportunity to thank your wife as well, since she's in the audience.
Lane, you've been a politician longer than I have. But
I've also been a husband. And
as I was interviewed on some of the news media, I was asked what did I attribute my success, and I quickly handled that one better than I did tonight by saying that I had a secret weapon, and that secret weapon was my wife Ann. My wife Ann, who's been by my side for 55 years. 55 years, and how grateful I am to have her as my bride.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good. Dr. Blanks.
Thank you, Lane. I would also like to thank the voters of Tullahoma for giving me another term to serve this great community. I hope I can do that with humbleness and do everybody a good job. A few people I would like to thank as well. My beautiful bride of 20 plus years, who's over there hiding. She made it for the swearing in. She's helpful along with my son, who has gone back to school. They were my right-hand man and woman for this campaign. So I appreciate that, and I hope to continue in the good work of the city. I thank the voters.
Yeah. Thank you both very much. Look forward to working with both of you. And I would be remiss without also taking this opportunity to thank Ms. Sandy Lindeman, who served with distinction on this board for 6 years. Her fingerprints are on many, many good things that we enjoy in Tullahoma, and we appreciate her service as well. And at some future point, we'll recognize her and thank her for her tenure as well. So
we'll be right back after these messages.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. The executive director of the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration stopped by our studios recently. Jim spoke with him about this year's event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to have joining us now Mike Inman, who is the executive director of the National Walking Horse Celebration in Shelbyville, Tennessee. An exciting time, got to be for you and what you do.
It's not only exciting for me. It's obviously it's the Super Bowl of our industry, and not only is it exciting to see all the horses, it's especially exciting to see all the friends that come, those that participate actively in the show, and those that just travel across the country to come and be a part and watch the show and be a part of the environment. So I get to meet up with, it's kind of like a class reunion every August.
Yeah, now I bet that's true for you because before you became executive director of the celebration, you actually showed horses for a long time.
27 years that we owned horses, showed horses, and bred walking horses. So it's pretty entrenched, and with 27 years there and now 3 years at this position, so 30 years, and I'm still referred to as being relatively new in the business.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What was the horse's name you had right there that was really good right as you retired or had to get out of that too?
Well, the one that I showed that was really good was All In.
All In, yeah.
All In.
Yeah,
and then, of course, we owned Honors with his coming 2-year-old year before he was.
Oh my goodness! I forgot you owned Honors at one time.
And then my wife owned a horse named Get Ready that she had her 4-year-old year. We sold him as 5, and she, I think, won 9 out of 10 times with him. So we finally, after a long time, had some pretty good horses. But that was part of it, and I do miss it though. I gotta tell you, I
bet, especially this time of year. You know, and folks, if you're watching this show and don't know who we're talking about when we speak of Honors, Honors is probably, by most accounts, most people would agree, maybe the best horse out there right now that in the championship division or in
I think arguably that's the case. He's never been defeated.
Right.
I know that, but let me tell you, the quality of the horses that we have entered in this championship division this year, and through the amateur. I mean, I tell you, we got some great 3-year-olds, some outstanding 2-year-olds. This 2-year-old crop is just incredible. But I'm telling you that stake class has a potential to be one of the best ones in easily 7 or 8 years.
And some of these horses, we're probably going to see them several times during the course of that 10-day celebration.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, every championship class has to be, to get in it, you have to participate in a preliminary, with the exception of any former World Grand Champion. Stake horse can compete directly in the stake championship night, which without preliminary qualifying, which is what I Am Jose did last year on his way to the second consecutive years of being crowned the World Grand Champion, and he was the first horse to do that since 1956.
And that has been something that's kind of changed, has it not, over the years? Because used to, when you won that at the celebration, the National Grand Champion, you didn't really show those horses in competition much anymore. But now it's pretty common.
Very, very rare, but people tried it. They just weren't successful at it. And that horse, not only did it do it a repeat, or a two-peat, whatever you want to call it. He also won it the previous year as a 4-year-old, which was very uncommon as well. So that horse is now only 6. So it's been tried many times. It's been successful, very, very few. But he's an outstanding animal.
You are you pretty well pleased with the entries that as they're coming in this
Actually,
time?
we are. We have a a 5% increase year over year in entries, which is the first increase we've had. I went back to 2009, and we haven't had a improvement year over year all the way that far, so I quit looking. On that. This year up to this point has been very, very strong. The enthusiasm is high. I've seen the horses, especially young horses, selling for more than they have in 5 or 6 years, and even the horses in the field, the yearlings and the weanlings, the babies, are selling at a profit level for our farmer breeder, which to me is a great sign that maybe the industry is starting to come back, where the person who wants to breed for the love of livestock and is a farming and truly in it for the agricultural aspect is able to make a reasonable profit and does not have to put the horse in training and to see if he will develop into a show horse. So I think that's encouraging. So I see the breedings to be up this fall and next spring, which that's exciting.
Absolutely. This show has a huge economic impact on the area. Shelbyville, but not just Shelbyville, all around Shelbyville, including our viewing area, Tullahoma, Manchester.
Oh, absolutely. With Bedford County, it's will bring in between $35 to $40 million positive economic impact, and that's for just the 10 days. Now, what the industry does year-round for the other shows, people come in town for the other shows during the year, the purchasing of real estate, which is significant. There's a pretty fair amount of folks that have second. I did. I had a second home in Shelbyville for 12 years before we moved here permanently, and I'm not unusual in that regard. People make major investments, automobiles, things, and of course, if you have a home, you participate in the school taxes, even though you don't have any kids going to school.
That's right.
And property and all the things. So I talk to the people in the cities and the county that work for the tax department. They love that because they don't have to spend any money to deliver goods and services, but yet receive the revenue.
Absolutely.
So it's not a bad deal.
And we'll be right back with more Newsleader on 6.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. It's nearing harvest time in Tennessee, and a good time to look at some of the changes Tennessee farmers have implemented in the last several years. Since the 1980s, more and more farmers have been using the no-till process. Chuck Denny with the UT Ag Center Extension Program takes a look at the impact of no-till farming in Tennessee.
David Oliver grows 2,000 acres of corn, soybeans, and wheat in rich Weakley County soil. Here he checks the depth of a recent planting. Almost every seed he puts in the ground is grown by no-till agriculture. Here you leave the plow in the barn, and one crop is planted on top of the residue of a past crop.
We own some land that's been in our family for over 100 years. We're proud of that. We've been no-tilling since mid to late 70s. We try to be 100% no-till now.
No-till was invented to build organic matter, hold moisture in place, and mainly to prevent erosion. UT experts estimate that no-till saves 10 tons of soil per acre per year.
Looking back over the last 30 years, you know, that's 750 million tons of topsoil, and I think that's a conservative estimate. So yeah, I think no-till has definitely been a game changer.
Dr. Blake Brown is superintendent of UT's Ag Research Center in Milan, home of the No-Till Field Day. Brown says when the idea of no-till was first proposed 3 decades ago, it was met with skepticism.
Yeah, you know, I mean, this was such a radical change. People thought we had to till the soil for a couple of reasons. We had to get that seed in there and we had to control weeds, and been doing that for thousands of years. And all of a sudden to tell people you don't have to do that, and by not doing that you can preserve this topsoil, it was a big change.
It wasn't that long ago when West Tennessee was plagued by soil erosion.
And after a big rain, we'd go down to the creek and watch the creek run under the bridge, and it was almost like watching a milkshake go by. There was that much soil, you know, washing off the land into the ditches and streams.
That soil loss led to no-till, and today it's the accepted practice in Tennessee agriculture, roughly covering 3/4 of row crop land.
By this time, if we had not had no-till, a lot of the land in the last 36 years would have gone out of production. It would have continued to decline. There would have been a major problem with environmental effects of the erosion that was continuing.
While it's difficult to play the what-if game, we did make the change to no-till. It was a gradual process, but a decision made by many farmers that had long-lasting positive effects. This is Chuck Denny reporting.
Don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Belle Royton from Partners for Healing, who will tell us about their upcoming fundraiser at Jack Daniel Distillery. Life Care is sponsoring the Alzheimer's Walk at South Jackson, and it's celebration time again. And we'll speak with Karen Inman, who has organized a hat competition during the horse show, and will give us all the details. All that and more on this week's Living.
Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1943 at 101 degrees. The record low was in 1958 at 51 degrees. Average high on this day is 88, and the average low is 64. Tonight, look for clear and cool weather in your forecast with a low of around 54. Mostly sunny weather expected on Wednesday with a high of 80 and a low of 57, and mostly sunny weather continuing in your forecast for Thursday with a high of 81 and a low of 61. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.